जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
The IPL's been dishing out hundreds one after the other. Surya yesterday and Prabh Simran today, a beautiful knock. But is it going to be enough? I don't know, but Lisa and Joy have all the answers. 167 is what Punjab have managed in spite of that 100 by Prabh Simran. The second highest scorer is 20. So, well, no one really has performed for Punjab there.
No, I think it was absolutely stunning performance by him. Once Shikhar got out, tried the shot, just picked out the fielder. But after that, Liam Livingstone, Jitesh Sharma, the way they got out, really, exposing their trumps, trying to hit it over the offside, it left the rest of the batting order in a lot of pressure. So, Sam Curran came in, tried to stem the rod, but they couldn't really hit the ball. And I think under those circumstances, I think reaching 106-7 is quite creditable.
Lisa, I think this is the thing with Punjab. They like this. I think the last time Shikhar got that 100, no one else scored. It was just him at that one end. Now, Prabh Simran again. No, Shikhar got the 99, but still very close. Prabh Simran today, again, he's got this 103, but no one really is scoring at the other end.
Yeah, he was the one guy that actually was still playing his shots, but it was very calculated shots. You can see a lot of laps were being played because he knew exactly where the bowlers were bowling. That's an area of his strength. Whereas you kind of felt, I agree with Joy, especially Liam Livingstone's shot. It was just, I'm looking in the heavens for something and I actually don't really care if I miss it. It was almost like I'm just going to go down the wicket and try and smash this. There was no thought process. It looked like there was no thought process from the outset. So when you look at Prabh Simran's innings and what he was able to do, it's actually quite important for Punjab when you look at also in the context for this game and what it does for the ladder as well.
Joy, the only second uncapped player after Paul Wall 30 for Punjab to get this 100. So it always, feels so special when youngsters come
I
into
remember
this.
Paul Wall 30's 2010 season, absolutely spectacular. Got 405 runs and did amazingly. You thought in the next couple of years he'd play for India and then, things, how they change. But great innings also, exactly as she said that, picking their spaces, knowing where to hit, which you would expect people like Sam Curran and more experienced players like Liam Livingstone, but Prabh Simran showed a lot of, match sense in that sense. And the fact that, after all those wickets they lost, they managed to make 101 in the last 10, I think was really vital. This is a total which is definitely, it may not be a winning total under these conditions, but it's definitely a competitive total given the way the ball's turned. Look at that, 10.2 in the 11 to 15 and then 10 in the last 10. I think a brilliant last over. I think the last two overs were really well
I think
bowled.
Mukesh just gave 3 in this
19th
90.
And it picked up a wicket.
Yeah.
So you can see the fact that, the wickets in the power play really does mean all of a sudden Punjab had to just, okay, let's just make sure we don't lose any wickets in this set to almost set ourselves up for the back 10. So on the flip side, if they can inflict the same wounds in Delhi, then potentially they've got a chance to ensure that they defend this total, which I think is probably maybe just under par, maybe around par. So,
yeah, we'll have a look at the bowling card right now because again the youngster Ishant Sharma has picked up 2 wickets, important wickets there. And of course there was Praveen Dubey who got that one, Kuldeep who got one. But again, Ishant comes in and picks up 2 important wickets. He's just a story which we like to talk
amazing. And they're using him well.
Yeah.
They used him in the first over. They used him, in the first few overs they used him. The first 4 overs they used him. Then he comes back in the 16th over because they just lost a few wickets and just one ball out there. They don't use him right at the death. And surprisingly, Mukesh bowled so beautifully for his 1 over, but that's the only over he bowled throughout the match. But I think they marshaled their resources well enough. I think the only trick they might have missed is because they wanted to get their spinners away. So 11 overs of spin they got. I think the one thing that they got wrong was they tried the slower, balls with Mitch Marsh with his, off-cutters and cutters. And that, I think, Prabh Simran really punished. So that 1 over for 21 could prove costly. Remember, Praveen Dubey's ended on 19 for his 3. And if you were to look at one bowler they could have done without trying, perhaps Mitch Marsh was that one because Prabhsimran really got stuck in. When they were stuck with spin, suddenly this, slightly medium fast bowling came as a huge relief for them.
Lisa, the pitch you think is assisting spinners also. When Aksar was bowling, you could see it turn and it was turning sharply. So this is something that Punjab will be looking at.
Yeah, I mean, when the first delivery you bowl, you land on middle to off stump and it just misses the top of off, that it's a pitch that's going to certainly help the spinners. And then it's about the spinners being clever enough to make sure you're not turning the ball too much, but you're also having the one that goes straight on to hit the stump. So, it's important to have that variation, even though you've got a very spin-friendly pitch. You've got to make sure that the batter's thinking, is this one turning big? Is this one not? Do I play on the inside or the outside line? Which way is it going? As soon as you start doing that and you can kind of show you can turn it both ways, or it just goes on naturally with the arm, then you're in with a chance.
We'll just have a look at Punjab squad because I want to see the spinners there. There's Harpreet Brar, there is Rahul Chahar, of course, and there's Sikandar Raza. Anyone else you think Livingston can come in?
So there are 4 spinners out there. I think they, as a fast bowler, they'll bring in Nathan Ellis because these conditions, Nathan Ellis will be a really good bowler at the death if it comes to that. Again, the ball will stick into the pitch. He knows how to bowl in these conditions. You need brute force to hit a player like him out of the ground. So I think Nathan Ellis will come in probably for Prabhsimran. And he deserves a break, the young man. He's done enough, well enough for the day.
Well, this is something which breaks a lot of Indian fans' hearts, is to see what's happened to Arshdeep. Because he's just one guy, you want him to do well. He's somebody who is just that nice guy who bowls very well. But if you see the economy there, that Mumbai game won for 66, Chennai won for 37, Lucknow won for 54. He's just been extremely expensive this season, Lisa.
Yeah, he is. And you get a sense sometimes when someone, a young player comes in and they have a really good year, it's like always the next year, second year blues or third year blues. People start to figure you out and you've got to kind of keep redefining or keep adding to your skill set. And you can't just keep doing what you did the previous year. So I haven't watched the last few games that they've played, so I can't really comment on how poorly he's bowled. But you've got to still you want the coaching staff to sit down with you and not look at the total figures, but to kind of break it down and go, okay, what were you trying to bowl and what was your field? And let's start managing that. You manage the process, not necessarily the outcome. And if he's able to nail the process, but the batter is able to find an extra piece of space or move around, then you actually have to say, well done to the batter. Yeah. So I'd like to think that the coaching staff has now spent a little bit more time with him to go, what are your plans? Are you clear at the top of your mark? If you are and you're executing and they're just better, then maybe we need to rethink your plans. But let's just focus on that first.
But Joy, I think we've spoken about this earlier. I don't know if you were in or it was Harsha, but we spoke about how he's someone who always bounces back stronger, especially with what happened against Pakistan, that those no-ball issues. He's worked on the no-ball issues. He's shortened his run-up. So he's somebody who keeps innovating, doing things. Yeah.
I think he keeps reinventing himself. I think their bowling coach is Charles Langers, and Langers knows a little bit about, swing bowling and fast bowling. And my belief is that if you take one match before that, you've shown us 4 or 5 matches.
4 for 29.
Yeah, it was, against Mumbai. And he was taking the stumps. Last over, he hit the stumps twice, broke a couple
them
of stumps.
Twice,
cost some money for the BCCI. But that's what I'm saying. It's that close. It's not. It's 15 days back. That's all.
But do you think that 66 that he went, Mumbai, he played against 1 for 66, that plays on the player's mind, like 66 in 4 overs?
But sometimes you look at who's batting the other end and what they're doing and you kind of go, doesn't matter where I would have put the ball, it was going, right? So sometimes you just have to shake things off. So that's why you actually hear batters say, hey, I'm not out of form or I'm out of nick. Not in T20 cricket, I can't be, right? I get a peach of a delivery. I'm still hitting the ball well, just luck's not going my way. Same thing can be said for the bowlers.
So can we say the same thing's happening to David Warner then? Because the first half was good, but the second half has not been so great. So he's also not had any partner supporting him at all, right?
Exactly. I think that's the big question you have to ask yourself. When did they start winning? When Phil Salt started scoring runs at the other end. And David Warner's he's had to play it safe up front. If you remember the first 6 games, the runs are there, but look at that strike rate. It's 120 because what's happened? Prithvi Shaw's got out at the other end, or whoever they've promoted to bat out there's got out at the other end. He's thinking, I've got to bat for 12, 13 overs because we're 3 down for nothing. And that's the problem. Yeah, unless David Warner, when he really flourished, he had people like Shikhar Dhawan at the other end, or Prithvi Shaw who was really performing at the other end. When you have to perform by yourself, and what we were talking about today is 120 strike rate in the IPL of 2010-11 would be fantastic. Great, safe player, you do your job. 120 strike rate does not work anymore. In the IPL of 2023, with impact players and substitutes, it's not working anymore. So that's his big struggle. And I think what David Warner likes to do is not take any risks in the first 6. And I think in today's IPL, it's no longer a tenable strategy. You're costing your team. The KL Rahuls and David Warners of this ilk, if they do not change their games, they'll start hurting their teams.
But Lisa, you think he's going to be playing with a freer mind because, well, they have nothing to lose now. So it's almost like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy myself today.
Well, it's funny, I noticed a few times the camera panned him. He had the biggest grin on his face, didn't he? So maybe the monkey is off his back and he can play with that freedom. I hope so, because he's dealing with a lot of pressure, not only here in this IPL, but then what's coming afterwards. Journalists back home are watching every innings that he's playing. Does he deserve his spot in the Test? Is the Ashes? Should he open in the Ashes? So there's all of that bubbling away in the background as well for him. So for him, he does like his back against the wall. He's that type of fighter.
That's true.
So, I think he's in the fight of his life at the moment. So forget Delhi, just him as an individual, as a wonderful T20 player and potentially one of our great Test players, openers. He's got to fight hard, and he can do it at the back end of this IPL just to say, hey, I'm still around.
Yeah. Well, there's something that the nation wants to know. Does anyone have the answers to why Akshar is not coming up? Because we don't have the answers to it, Joy. When are they going to send Akshar Patel up the order?
Today.
Today?
I'm saying today. And I'll tell you why.
Is this like a Quinton de Kock? Today he's in the side.
I was saying today, because my sense is that the amount of turn the bowlers are getting, if of the top 4, if they get out quickly, I think he's the next man in. Because, if you look at that, the situation where he walks in it, what else can he do?
Yeah, so the Greens are when they've won both those games, when he's got that 19 and 8. But he's just come in so late every time that he couldn't really do anything at all.
Yeah. And the thing is, you look at how many wickets have fallen. So that means who is he batting with as well? So he's taking on a lot of pressure. If he was to bat with someone within the top 4, I'd love to see what that allows him to do. And I guess we won't ever know it until they finally do it. We can guess and think, okay, it might free him up and we can make all of these stories up. But at the end of the day, we need to see him in that position to really judge, can he bat for future IPLs as well?
For India.
Yeah.
For India.
Because he's been successful for India. He's coming off the Australian over. He was so good. And then he's coming in looking so good when he bats. And then you're just wondering, you're just seeing him in the dugout, not coming out. It's been so frustrating, not as just Delhi fans, but just wanting to see good cricket happen.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. It's a mystery that only Ponting can tell us at the end of this season, but we'd like to know, definitely.
If not, when I get back home, I'll speak to Ricky in the commentary box and I'll message the group.
Okay, message in the group, or we can do a special Cricbuzz live on
reveal
what the reason was. We can do that. All right then, Lisa. It's that time now.
What's the time?
Well,
no one won, did they?
No one won.
She
won?
She's saying she won.
No,
She's
I didn't. I was 1 run short.
Oh, were you?
179, yeah. She was close enough.
Yeah, I was close enough. I didn't.
You should take that.
I am just somebody who's a good student who follows the rules of Cricbuzz Live. I was told by our seniors is when you have the 20 over point, it's a 10-run difference. When you're the 6 at the power play point, it's 5 runs.
That's right.
That's correct.
Those are the rules which were given to me.
Well done.
I said 179, which is why I said 169 would have been a victory.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't, but there was a lot of debate. There was heat, sledging going on.
Oh,
so-
she doesn't know what sledging really is.
Yeah.
If you think
You
this
haven't
is
yet got us
sledging,
started.
All right.
Okay.
So
all right, I'll go first. I'm going to go 41.
I'll stay in that region. 46.
So I'm given no reason to stay with. I'll go with 52 because I have no other choice. So 41, 46 and 52. That's what it's going to be.
You've got plenty of choices. There are so many numbers.
No, but there are plenty of numbers, but they have to make sense. They have to make sense.
Sledging you. She's sledging you. She's sledging
See,
you.
I don't know what it is. There was
Got
Michael. I think
her.
it's that chair, Joy. It's that chair.
Harsha sits
know-
here, doesn't he?
No, there was Michael sitting there and he
right.
just completely kept messing with my head saying, are you sure? Are you sure? Like he kept doing that. I think it's that chair. For the next innings, I think I'm going to request the producers to get Lisa to sit here and we'll see if there's any difference. We'll
Then
wait
you'll
and
watch me sledging after that.
Oh, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. It'll be fun. You let us know. Would you all like to see Mr. Joy Bhattacharjya sledge me or Lisa Sthalekar sledge me? Write in and let us know. And don't forget to join us at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad to Punjab Express.
পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন।
Cricbuzz